Here's a crazy fact for you. Ohio State's got one last home game for the regular season. They'll play Rutgers. It's senior day on Saturday. Some people will walk, some people will not. Some people are seniors playing their last game. Some people are juniors playing their last game. And these are outrageous predictions about that game. I'm Stephen Means. That's Stefan Krajisnik. And that is Andrew Gillis. Stefan, what is your outrageous prediction for the last time you cover a game in Ohio Stadium in the regular season this year? I hate that I have to say that now.
Yeah,
I have to
you can never
backdoor it
be
like that.
you can never be too safe. I'm going the route of the tight ends. I think regardless of whether Cardinal Tate and Jeremiah Smith play or don't, they're probably limited even if they do play, just to be safe. And I think this is an opportunity for guys like Brandon Innes, Miley Graham, Quincy Porter, Bryson Rogers to kind of get good afternoons out of this game against Rutgers, a very bad defense. And I think it's maybe a game where we finally see Max Clare kind of break out and put together a bit of a performance that we haven't really seen yet this year. Andrew, you'll remember this early in the season, Ohio playing at Rutgers, a tight game. Bobcats made it close. Jake Bruno, 2 touchdowns in that game. And then Rutgers, I'm looking at this, October 18th, played against Oregon. They gave up 56 points, so a lot of guys scored. But Kenyon Sadiq had 2 touchdowns in that game. So tight ends can have some success against this Rutgers defense, and I'm going with Max Clear to have 2 touchdowns against Rutgers. I think he's going to have I don't want to call it a breakout performance just because he's an all Big Ten tight end, right? But in terms of his time at Ohio State, he really hasn't had, a full game like this. And when you think about, targets and receptions, if Cardinal and Jeremiah don't play, or even if they're limited, he's right there with Brandon Innes in terms of targets and receptions, right? Like he's arguably the number 3 target on this team, and he's had a ton of reps and a ton of snaps played with Julian Sayin. He's got chemistry with Julian Sayin, while guys like Miley Graham, Bryson Rogers are trying to develop that still. So I think the kind of secondary guys at receiver will have their opportunities. But I look at Max Clare and I say maybe this is an opportunity for him to kind of be like, hey, I am that all Big Ten caliber tight end that came to Ohio State. I haven't put up those numbers because I haven't had to, because I have 2 first-round picks playing as weapons around me. But when needed, I can still provide. And I think he's going to have a pretty big game. If he has 2 touchdowns, I wouldn't be surprised if he had 100 yards, if he had 5 or 6 plus receptions. But I'm going to go with the 2 touchdown mark just because I've seen tight ends do it to Rutgers before, and I think he's going to keep that going. So big game for Max Clare and the home finale at Ohio Stadium.
I think this has to be a record. I don't know if any singular player that's not a quarterback has ever had a season where every single person has had an outrageous prediction about him.
This might not even be my first one for Max Clare this season either.
I don't know if it was mine.
No, this tells you how we feel about tight end play at Ohio State. It's the fact that we're still using them for outrageous predictions. The outrageous predictions are like, they're going to do what the wide receivers do every single Saturday. Andrew, what's your outrageous prediction?
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I was kind of thinking like, all right, if I could pick a secondary guy in the receiving core, but I'm actually going to go defense here. I think Ohio State this week is going to be pretty attentive to putting this game away quick. And when you put this game away quick, or you try to put this game away quick, I think it's going to involve getting people off their feet. I bet you when we are doing post-game interviews, we are going to hear a lot of, this game doesn't matter anymore. We're on to the team up north. And that's going to be it, right? That's going to be the theme of this. Hey, we're looking past this. The players are going to move on. And I think they're going to get some people off their feet. And I think Zion Grady, 2 sacks. He has 1 sack this season. He came against Grambling. And I think he's going to get his first FBS sack. I think he's going to get his second FBS sack. I think Arvell Reese is probably not going to play a lot in the second half of this game. I would venture to guess the same goes for Caden Curry, for Kenyatta Jackson. I bet you we see a lot of defensive end pairings of Bo Atkinson and Zion Grady in the 3rd and 4th quarter. Ethan Kaliakmanis is not the most elusive quarterback in the world, and I think Ohio State might be able to take advantage of that. And I think this is going to be an important moment for Zion Grady, because this is kind of it for guaranteed. We probably know for a fact that dudes are going to be able to enter the lineup and get a role, because nobody's going to make a guarantee that Ohio State is going to be putting in backups against Michigan. Nobody's going to be making a guarantee that they're putting in backups against Indiana. Nobody is going to be making a guarantee for playoff games. Did it happen last year? Of course. Is it probably nuts to suggest Ohio State's going to be up 45-10 against Georgia, Notre Dame, Oregon? Happened last year, doesn't mean it wasn't nuts. So I think they're going to try to get some young guys into the lineup. I think Zion Grady's one of them. Zion Grady ends the game with 2 sacks. And I think we are left with a pretty good impression of Zion Grady because the whole thing going on with CJ Hicks where he hasn't played, he's taken a red shirt. They can get him back in the postseason. If he does play in the postseason, I just don't think you're going to see Zion Grady much, if at all. So this could be the last time we see him play meaningful snaps, and I think he's going to make the most of it.
You guys want to? I know, Steven, you're the fun facts guy. Can I give some fun facts?
Yeah,
because you talk about Ohio State's defense and the challenge that they're going to be going up against. Lorenzo Styles, this is how Ohio State appears to be motivating itself for the Rutgers game. The message from Ryan Day was that Rutgers has a quarterback who's passed for more yards than Julian Sayin. Rutgers has a receiver who's caught for more yards than Jeremiah Smith. So Ohio State's pointing at Rutgers' offense and saying they got some dudes who have done some things. So, yeah, Zion Grady making an impact would be important because they're going up against one of the best offenses in college football history.
Oh, I wasn't.
I mean, listen, a quarterback better than Julian Sayin and a receiver better than Jeremiah Smith makes you one of the best offenses in college football history.
That is elite Saban rat poisoning right there. They got the best quarterback. Wow, that's elite.
Makes you one of the 32 NFL teams. I was gonna say that I'm not gonna say that we're not gonna see backups again. Maybe it just won't be in garbage time. I'm just saying, the team's not all the way healthy. Your fun fact was funny. Does anybody know what Lincoln Kienholz's career high in passing yards is?
Oh,
just take a guess.
A lot.
It would be a fun fact if it wasn't in the Cotton Bowl, but I'm imagining it was in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah,
just take a guess.
110. I don't know.
Okay, 110. What's your
76?
Ooh, that wasn't far off. He's had over 50 yards twice. In the Missouri in the Cotton Bowl in 2023, he had 86 yards, 6 of 17 in that game. His second highest is against Grambling. This year he had 71 yards on 6 of 7. Man, what a difference. 2 years of development and actually being in a plan for you to play football. 6-7. I'm saying that Lincoln Kienholz is going to get his first 100-yard passing game on Saturday. I think it is in the best interest of Ohio State to take care of business for 30 minutes and then an extra 5 of the second half, and then tell Julian Sayin to have a seat. It's time to get ready for Michigan. And I don't think Carnell and JJ are going to play, so I'm not even going to say their names. And tell Brandon Ennis it's time to take a seat and get ready for Michigan. Max Clare, Will Kazmarek, Austin Saraveld, Carson Hinsman, who did tell us on Wednesday evening that he is not walking on Saturday, so that might be a little bit of insight into how he is thinking in terms of whether or not he's going to go pro or not. If he's not going to walk, I think that makes it a little bit more intriguing that maybe the Ohio State starting center is back for a 5th year in 2026. Luke Montgomery, Phillip Daniels, Bo Jackson, sit them down, get them seated, and get them ready for Michigan, and let your backups get out there and get some work in. This is the last time I think it's the plan to play Lincoln Kienholz in a football game as like your quarterback running the offense, not the Lincoln Kienholz package that we've seen in the red zone. Like, could we see that again at some point? Probably, maybe. I guess if the moment calls for it, I think you can see it. But in terms of he's running the offense, this is probably the last opportunity you get it. And I don't think he has to throw 10 passes on Rutgers to get 100 yards. I think all it takes is simple 7-yard completion that somebody takes 35 yards down the field, and all of a sudden you've got a touchdown. All of a sudden you got 35 yards there, another 20 yards here, another 17 yards here, another 18 yards there. Before you know it, he's got 100 yards. First 100-yard game for Lincoln Kienholz in the last game at Ohio Stadium. I don't know. We'll see what he has in store for the rest of his career here too. Right? Does he come back in 2026, understanding that Julian Sayin is going to be the backup and put up another fight, or does he move on with his career as well? But I think Julian Sayin is not going to be the only 100-yard passer on Ohio State's team on Saturday. Heck, maybe we even see Tavian St. Clair as well. But those are outrageous predictions as Ohio State heads into its final home game of the season. It's the Buckeyes. It's the Scarlet Knights. It's at noon. Because that's where we live, man. Noon. Sun high in the sky. Noon inside
Hopefully.
Ohio Stadium. Well, I mean, not high in the sky because daylight savings just happened at this point, but kind of the same concept, right? It's going to be sunny. It's going to be like 50 degrees.
Yeah, it'll be dark at halftime because daylight savings has already happened.
Hey, man, listen, this is the life we live. I don't know if we chose to have daylight savings as three individuals who were not alive when that happened, but this is the life we get to live. Daylight savings. 614-350-3315, a 2-week free trial, $3.99 after that. Get the text. Good time to get it. Let's get you through the Michigan game. Great time to get it. I'm telling you. It's not a bad time, but this is why this is a good time. And go listen to Buckeye Talk wherever you find podcasts. Andrew, Stefan, Steven. See you after the game.